No one was. They were right next to each other.
It was only that when you found.
They were so I pulled out.
I read through.
Well, that would be something we need to look at.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out.
Like mellow.
Yeah. I was wondering. I would have had to pull out and do I never had that happen.
So that's pretty cool.
Oh, they were.
You go straight in.
No, it's, but the main road, that's just coming in.
Oh. So they're not able to complain. You go straight in, and I know they said that. It's only. But we're in one street.
Is the ghost town? I didn't see it on there.
I think I can talk about it. I bet all those trucks are. They're bringing one on a dealers. Ours.
You see, just because things. Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
That like is nice.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
How you been?
I
I know, we've heard about that.
I know. We make the changes.
Reads in there, this is running out of battery.
Okay, so it's off the agenda for tonight.
So probably over. Get a nice
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't pull it this afternoon.
No, that's all
Part of
right.
it from your letter, we looked at some things and went, okay. The 39 and 40, it's where you start. If you started in 39 and come into 40. all of yours on 40,
Water
or
park
30.
building. For that one.
Yeah, or maybe it's.
But we want to break it down. So you know exactly.
Right. That'd be great. Yeah.
But you guys won't receive notification again.
Oh, of course, when he was calling.
And then we'll go back into that 28-day waiting period. We have to notice 28 days. We'd love to.
As well. Yeah.
I think that's.
Have my kind of a letter back.
We can do that and we can set up a time to meet with you.
If we wanted to add.
Grab another one. Go through it.
End of the day.
Yes. Well, and we want you in our community.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And I will set up a time. Back and forth. Let's do that. It's better to schedule with you time wise, or we need to contact you, John?
for us and then we can bring
I'll include both. And then we'll do it that way. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Probably about happened to come clear over.
No, that's all right. Drive.
Get out of Boise.
Yeah, come up to the God's country.
Absolutely.
Should nobody else want it? Okay, thank you.
Let's see, so I was there. Are you going to be? Wait. Nudge him. Yeah, so we'll be on. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's not fair. You'll get calls from some. Gee.
Well, Everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate your attendance here with us tonight. We'd like to call this meeting to order for the city council meeting of the city of Rexburg on July 1st, 2026. I've asked council member Riggins to offer an opening prayer for us tonight, after which I've asked Councilmember Tejan to lead us in the pledge of allegiance. So, Councilmember Riggins.
Thank you. Father in heaven, we're so grateful for the opportunity to be able to meet together as neighbors, friends, and as a city council. Grateful for our mayor and all he does to watch over the city. We're grateful for the wonderful opportunity to live here. Grateful for the freedoms that we have, grateful for the beautiful country that we live here, the rivers, mountains. So blessed to be here. Grateful for the many men and women in this community that invest the time, money, so that we might have a wonderful economy in this area. We're grateful to live in America, grateful for the opportunity we have to celebrate 250 years as a nation, and we're so grateful for the Constitution of the United States. We're grateful again for this opportunity to meet. Pray that God would bless our evening, that we may be able to have a conversation led by the Spirit in all that we do. We pray humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead with our roll call of council members, please.
Councilmember Dotson. Here. Councilmember Teason.
Here.
Councilmember Colin Erickson.
Here.
Councilmember Reeser.
Here.
Councilmember Riggins.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Deborah, did Council President Erickson, was he out of town or something?
He is.
He is, okay.
I spoke with him today. He notified me he'd be out of town. If there was an emergency, he said he could be contacted by phone and could zoom in, but I said I didn't think we'd have an issue. And he may have mentioned that to me earlier. I just didn't remember. So, okay, thank you. We'll excuse Council President Erickson then and move on to item number 3, which is at this time, we need a motion to amend the agenda as per Idaho State Statute 74-2044B, which is an amendment to remove item 4 to annex property at approximately 80 East 77th North into the city of Rexburg. We can remove that item from the agenda, so I need a motion to amend the agenda. Is there such a motion?
I'll make a motion that we remove item 4 from the agenda as now here.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Colin Erickson. Any further discussion on that item? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. We will remove item number 4 from the agenda. And that was the next item, so we'll skip on to item number 5, which is a public hearing. This is for consideration of proposed fee increases for water and sewer capacity fees effective July 2nd and water and sewer and sanitation monthly. Actually, time out. I think since this is on the agenda for 6:30, oh, we're already 6:38, so we're good. Okay, I was thinking a little bit wrong there. Okay, we're good. All right, so this is for water, sewer, and sanitation monthly fees effective October 1st, 2026. This would be designated as resolution number 2026-07 if the motion passes. So we have our assistant CFO, Scott Miller, to present this item to us. So we'll go ahead and have him talk about that, after which we will have the public hearing.
So I know that Matt's gone through this at length with everybody, but it represents just change in water rates. Let me run this, let me zoom in on this.
This is my phone.
Let's try that again. Can you hear me better?
Better.
Thank you. So, I mean, maybe the best way, here's the actual numbers that you'll be approving. But then another way to look at this, and I think you've looked at this before, but we have sample bills to kind of see what these increases look like for the average person. And so that you can see, like, here's just a resident that's where their bill goes up by almost $6, which represents a 4.3% increase. For multiple family apartment complexes and whatnot, a little bit higher of an increase, 10% on average. And again, this is a sample. Depending on water usage, this can fluctuate. And then businesses, again, kind of in that 9.2% increase, or in this case, $33. So yeah, like I say, I mean, I know that you guys have been through this quite a bit. Do you guys have any questions that I can answer? Anything that
Okay,
would be
yeah, we
helpful?
did have a work meeting where we went through this item by item, and just if there are any specific questions for Scott on this before we take any actions, is there anyone that has any questions or comments?
I've just got a general, I've just got a general question. Since I've been gone for the last few weeks, I was at the work meeting. I just was curious if anything has changed since the work meeting. Are all those numbers the same? Okay, just make sure if I needed to be updated on anything. So it sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Erickson.
So mine's just twofold. The first is I talked to Matt, and I definitely want to put on record that we evaluate this every year, not just take the whole 5 years and
And
look at where we're going.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
talk to Matt this morning about that as well. And he's like, yeah, we do look at this annually, no matter what. So
And I want to make sure we do that because the citizens, I mean, they're getting hit all the way around with everything going up and up and up. And I just want to make sure we evaluate this with what the increase we have as population coming in the future and keep up on that. But I want to make sure we do come back and evaluate this every year. And the second fold is the garbage. I'm a little reluctant on the garbage because we're jumping up with the garbage and higher than we really need it. I mean, there's no reason to do that jump right now, as I could see. And maybe someone could explain it to me different, but I mean, it's not a lot, but every penny counts on some families down in the city. And I just want to make sure we are utilizing that in the best way.
really, my understanding is what all that was built on was the capital improvement plan over the next 5 years, really looking at what we're gonna have to spend, in terms of new assets and making sure that we're prepared for that. So
And I'm comfortable with this one, but like I say, next year I'd like to reset and make
Uh-huh.
sure we really dig through this and look at, okay, we did it this year because we already just did one last year, and I don't want to see us just keep jumping, going.
We do look at it every year, and some years has been not much or no increases that are very small ones, and this is catching up with us a little bit with all of the cost increases. I mean, a garbage truck is $450,000 or something like that. So, in order to have the money on hand to be able to buy a new one when we need a new one, we've got to be able to keep up with those expenses.
And like part of that's coming back on the recycling. I mean, we still put a lot of money back into that when we want to, I mean, we're going through this year. We need probably one more year, maybe even two, to say, okay, is this really worth it to keep subsidizing
Yeah, and
this whole
that
thing,
is
so.
definitely part of the evaluation. Deb just reminded me that a big part of the sanitation element is based on the salary study as well, making sure that we can keep people.
I might even be. Keith, I might even be lowballing that on a garbage truck, right? Is 450 about right, or are they more than that?
No, a little less. I think we're seeing like 320, 340. So, but they are going up, and they are a high maintenance item.
Big time.
So we spend a lot of money on maintaining those trucks. It's just anytime starting and stopping with that kind of weight and just the cycling of it, a lot of wear and tear.
And like I say, that's just some concerns. I wanted to relook at this, make sure we're doing the best we can with the money we're coming in, and not just
No, absolutely. And
not keep building up and not having, because we did a 5-year plan out there, but that's a big guess. And
yeah,
all of a sudden we might be behind. I mean, when we hit next year, we might say, oh, that's not going to work, but I just want to come back on that and really.
yeah, and we certainly will. We always do look at that. So.
Okay, was there another comment? You guys comment? Okay. All right, any other questions or comments for Scott? Okay, all right, thank you. If not, then we will go ahead with the public hearing. We will declare the public hearing open. And the way a public hearing works, of course, if you haven't been here before, is we ask for those who might be in favor of this proposal to come up and state your name and address and give any testimony that you would like. Then we'll ask for those who might want to testify in the neutral position, after which we will ask any of those who would like to testify in the that are against the proposal to testify as well. So at this time, we'll go ahead and ask if there's anyone who would like to testify in favor of this proposal to please come up. Is there anyone that would like to do that? Is there anyone online that has their hand up?
Nobody online.
All right. Is there anyone who'd like to testify in the neutral position on this particular item? Yes.
Brett Crandall, 2339 West 900 South. This is more a question than a statement, but I like to better understand why those who are living in apartments have twice as big of an increase in their cost as opposed to those who live in single family homes. I just want to make sure that we're not putting a greater burden on those who are students rather than those who maybe are more active voters in the community.
And I think, and I don't know, Keith, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think the way we've looked at it is just to try to adjust for the actual costs of servicing single family homes versus multifamily. And when we realized that the costs that we have for multifamily are actually a little bit higher, so we've adjusted those accordingly. That's why every year, like Councilmember Colin Erickson said, we look at these every year and try to figure out, okay, are we being equitable here and there, and trying to figure that out as best we can, and so that's why those will jump a little bit more or a little bit less depending on where we feel like our costs are to be able to service those particular types of places, whether it's single family, residential, or multifamily. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when you looked at the breakdown, some of the rates for the apartments actually went down. And then some of them went up. And so then that's the overall increase.
Right, yeah.
But some of them went down. So we're not trying to
Okay.
and undo
It's
something.
more just that's the cost for servicing apartment
Yeah,
complexes.
and thank you for that comment. I forgot about that.
Great.
But yeah, in all of those formulas that we looked at, we try to figure out how much it costs to service the water and the sewer and the garbage. And as Councilmember Johnson said, some of them did go down, some of them went up. And so we just try to figure out what our costs are and be equitable across the board on those. So
Great. I'm just happy that you're explaining now because I don't want to see people complaining on Facebook.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Mayor, one good thing, right,
Yeah.
about water, sewer, and sanitation is that we can't take those funds and put them in other places and use them for anything else. So it wouldn't, there's no purpose to us overcharging because all we can use it for is water,
Right.
sewer and sanitation.
Yeah, good point.
So.
Good point. Thank you for that. Okay, is there any other testimony in the neutral position? All right, hearing none. Is there anyone who'd like to testify against this item, this particular item on the agenda? Anyone online?
No one online.
No? Okay, thank you. All right. There's one. Okay. Come on up.
Let me fill this out before I forget. But my name is Nathan Bloomberg. Just kind of looking at that, and I wanted to come in here and just kind of look at it. Is there a reason I noticed all those percentages, at least for the residential, there's a 9% increase on that water there? I know it's only like 445, but why that much? Why that
Well,
big of an increase?
It would basically be the same as what Brett asked about the campus thing. Basically, we just go through all of our costs and our capital needs for the next 5 years and try to adjust those up or down according to what our closest, I don't want to call them guesstimates because we have quite a bit of experience, in trying to look at those and figure out what we're going to need. But that's why is really because we figured that's what it's going to take to service that particular type of property.
Yeah, no, I just would like to see that be closer aligned with those other rates, but I understand if that's like a higher usage, again, it's not a drastic change, but it is obviously a change from the previous year. Rates already went up.
Yeah.
So if we look at both, right, we're looking at a $6 difference. We know rates will probably go up next year. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of utilities in general, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be my electric bill, whether it be my internet bill, whether it be utilities, but just trying to understand that a little bit. That's there.
True. That is true, and we understand that. And actually, our hope is that by, we did a pretty extensive study on this for this year because it's the 5-year, kind of at the 5-year breaks, we always try to steady them out a little bit more extensively. And the jumps this year are a little bit more. Our hope is always that some of the costs that have escalated just in the last few years quite a bit will kind of mellow out, and the next years hopefully will be really small increases, or sometimes we've actually been able to keep them the same or even had small decreases too. So that's what we can hope for.
So as residents then what would help us to keep that rate continually to be low? Use less water, be conservative?
Well, yeah, because it is based on your water usage. So yeah, if you can minimize, and especially in a year like this, we're encouraging people to minimize water usage as much as they can anyway. So if you can do that, I mean, we don't want you to let your lawns die, but if you can train them to take a little less water by watering deeply and then not watering as much, that's always beneficial, and that saves water.
No, I appreciate the information, but yeah, I just wanted to see those rates look a little bit more, all together at the same. But I understand that certain things get used a different way, so it'd just be nice to see those rates kind of be more balanced on a percentage, no different than bills that go up, cost of living adjustment, kind of things like that. So that would just be my only comment.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate that comment. That's good to know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there any other comments or testimony? Okay. Going once, going twice, 3 times. We're going to close this public hearing. And at this point in time, I would entertain any questions or comments from the council. And if there is none, I would entertain a motion to move forward on this item. Is there any questions or comments? And we already had them, but if there's anything else that's come up. Okay, if none, I would entertain a motion at this time then to consider these fee increases.
Mayor, I'll make that motion to approve the fee increases.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Reeser. Okay. All right. Thank you. Any all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That motion passes. So we will go ahead with those. But we will note, duly noted, that we will review these every year and make sure that we're not collecting excess funds, because we don't want to do that. And if we are collecting excess funds, we'll certainly look at decreasing the fees next year as necessary. So thank you for those comments. We appreciate that. Right, item number 6 is a presentation pertaining to the old seminary building located approximately 60 West Main Street by Cheryl Empey and Lisa Jones from our Historical Preservation Committee. So go ahead and turn the time over to you for your presentation. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your service on our Historical Preservation Committee. Whichever is easiest for you. If you'd rather be over there, that's great. We just ask that you speak into the microphone because these proceedings are recorded, and we need to be able to hear the recordings for accurate minutes.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come and present to you our findings. First, a way of clarification, we have talked to the Urban Renewal Committee, and I'm not sure that they were super clear on who we were. So we need to clarify that this evening. We are the Rexburg Historical Preservation Commission by the mayor. So we're with you, not as a separate entity. So we are the Historical Preservation Commission. And my name is Cheryl Empey. I'm the chair. Lisa Jones is with me this evening. She's the vice chair. We have Jamie Patton, excuse me. She's our secretary, and she is an amazing historian. She's done a lot with Flood 50. Then we have Cricket Mount, and she is in our communications, and David Jones is our treasurer. So one of the things that I wanted to clarify this evening is what our commission is doing. And it is interchangeable within the wording commission or committee. It's both ways. It's listed both ways. So the purpose of this commission or committee is to promote the education, cultural, economical, and general welfare of the public of the city of Rexburg through identification, evaluation, designation, and protection of those building sites, districts, areas, structures, and objects that reflect significant elements of the city or state or nation, of their historic, architectural, archaeological, and cultural heritage. So we are here to give recommendations to the city, to you, on the things that we've found. So for instance, we have been going for about 2 years as this group. And one of the things that we did that you might recognize is the Flood 50 seal that said, built to last. I survived the flood. And these are window decals that can go on the buildings or places that said that and they were sold as a fundraiser to support the tabernacle. The second thing is that we are here as somebody that does our homework, and we look and we find information about our historical buildings currently. So we've participated with Flood 50. We've done some consultation with some of the buildings downtown, the June's Place, just to know what they have, where they've been, or maybe find older pictures and so forth, so that they can understand where their building came from. So I'm going to turn the time to Lisa, and she's going to start with that same sort of information that we've gathered with the seminary building.
Old seminary. Yes, historic seminary building. Okay, can you hear me okay? If I don't, then I'm kind of tall. So as a commission, just fulfilling those duties, we, like Cheryl said, we've been doing our homework, a lot of research, and we found out the history behind this building. and wanted to share that with you to kind of share the significance of it and hope that it will maybe be saved as the development of that land goes forward. I'm gonna move that. So a brief history. The land the seminary building was built on was owned by Sarah Holman in 1885. She was the mother of 12 and the last surviving member of the handcart company, the Martin Handcart Company. She was the sister-in-law to Thomas E. Ricks, who owned the adjacent lot. And then the school district purchased the land in 1903, and we're not sure what was on that land before, but there aren't any documents or records that show or photographs. But we know there was demolition of an existing structure prior to the start of this construction of this building in 1937. Oh, it's that, sorry, it's the
1937.
So here's a little bit of the timeline. Settled between 1885 and 1903, owned by Sarah. They acquired the lot in 1903. The construction began in 37. It opened in 38. And then from the 50s throughout the 90s, it was kind of a school and seminary hub. It served as both a seminary in the early days of that time period, and then later on as special services for the school district. And then it has sat vacant since then. So in 2000, in the 10s, there were preservation efforts that we'll talk about a little bit more about in a minute. This is just some more information about the timeline of the seminary. Charles Zollinger was the contractor of it. It's inspected, completed an open house in January of 1938. And then the next slide shows what it looked like, not in January, probably later. It's no snow and grass. And I just want to point out the really beautiful like architectural details that are missing now. If you go back one slide, because in this slide you can see the doors have been replaced. In this slide, there are those beautiful wooden French doors. The windows are all intact. And so this is kind of to give you an idea of what we think it could look like again if someone were to purchase it and renovate it. Huh? Yeah, and we think we have found the doors, so they're somewhere safe, waiting. Okay, and then this is some more. You can see like the windows have been replaced in the back. This is kind of what it looks like. Was changed, we think in the 60s, and then kind of what it looks like currently with the glass block instead of the paned windows in the back. So we want to talk about kind of a few different elements of the significance of the building. First of all, historic represents our Rexburg's educational heritage. It survived the flood. It has served as an important community gathering place for decades, and we think it can be revived again to be a prominent community landmark. 60% of the total cost of the construction was covered by the church and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the other 40% was covered by donations of labor and money by ward members in the Rexburg area. So it was literally built by the community. And it's a great example of 20th century architecture, unusual to this area. And the next slide talks a little bit about that, its architectural significance. It's the Spanish Revival style, which was popular in the early 1900s and pretty rare in eastern Idaho. The only other building that kind of approaches this style in Rexburg would be the church building on First East and Second South, I think.
Yeah.
Inspired by Spanish and Mediterranean designs, known for its stucco walls and red tile roofs. Ours is a little different because it's actually made of brick, not stuccoed. It represents the craftsman an artist character not common in modern buildings. And then preserving the style protects the architectural diversity and community identity. We don't have too much architectural diversity left from that time period. So we feel like that's another reason that it's worth saving. And then just historical significance, it represents, oh wait, wrong way. Yeah, we already covered that. Here's some more examples of preserved Spanish colonial buildings in other cities in Idaho. It's featured on the Idaho State Historical Preservation Facebook page.
So they're seeking.
Yeah, looking at that. And then the next slide, I think, shows that this is not so much the architectural style, but that other cities are, neighboring states are preserving their seminary buildings. One in Springville and in Provo have been repurposed to other businesses. And then the community value. It's hard to read that little part up there in the yellow, but residents had previously organized to save the building. It was ready to be demolished, and the DUP organized and camped out on the steps while the bulldozers were ready to tear it down, and ultimately stopped the demolition. And so there's attachment to this building, community attachment, and then we also, as part of our outreach as a commission, we had a booth at the Founders Day event and had a lot of community interest, and heard from a lot of people hoping that this building would be saved. They had an opportunity to tour it that day, and overwhelming majority of people are I would say, dissatisfied with to put it nicely, I guess, with the preservation so far. They are kind of dismayed by the amount of buildings that have already been knocked down to make way for development. And then we've lost a lot in the flood too. So I think that that kind of makes an important point for saving as well. And this is the photo that was in the Post Register in 2014. All those sweet ladies. Do you want me to keep going, or you? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So these are our recommendations, and I know the RFP's already gone out, and but maybe as you're looking at those plans coming in, we the yellow highlighted area is the parcel that the seminary building sits on. We would recommend that you make the purchase of that parcel optional, maybe as a negotiating point with the developer. If they were planning to knock it down, that they could, maybe they don't buy that part of it and you take that out of the larger parcel. To us, it feels like it belongs to the building in front of it, which is owned by the Hubers. The rest of that, if you were to continue that rectangle towards Main Street, there's a little park there that was created actually by my aunt, Sybil Ferguson, as kind of her little gift to the community, as a little park, a little pocket park on Main Street. And it's, the Hubers don't have I guess the means to maintain it right now. They would love help maintaining it and to make it beautiful again. They have no interest in selling. And we've talked to them. They would love to see that building saved as well. So we felt like taking that out of the larger parcel, which is much larger than it shows on the screen, wouldn't make that much of an impact in the overall site. And then our second recommendation would be when you are considering the development proposals, choose one that includes preservation of that building and make that a priority as you're looking at those. The other recommendation is maybe to use funds that are already earmarked for demolition, that maybe a portion of the proceeds from the sale of the property could be put towards maybe lowering the purchase price, or to incentivize someone that would be interested in preservation to make that building a little more affordable. I know there's also asbestos abatement that needs to happen, and we wanted to address that because in the proposal that you received, I don't know if you guys have looked at over. I know Urban Renewal has that bid out the asbestos abatement. In this building, asbestos was only found in the ceiling tiles of the basement. So I think there's been a misconception that building is beyond repair, or a kind of a lost cause, or is going to be too much to renovate. And it's really in great shape. It has really good bones, and the only abatement that needs to be done is the ceiling of the basement. So we wanted to make you aware of that as well. Yeah, that's okay.
So part of our duty here is to be good stewards of the resources for the city. And historically speaking, we have few buildings that we've preserved, considering the amount and population of our town. We have our Main Street and perhaps some other buildings 2 or 3 blocks off of Main Street that exist right now. We would love to see a preservation and have that stated as our area of preservation, our historical
Kind of downtown area.
District.
district is the word. Thank you. Our historical district. We feel like this stewardship is exceptionally important and very timely currently. The city now owns that building, and it hasn't owned it since the early 1903, I believe. We now own that. And it is our opportunity to make a historical decision that I think could really benefit as a group, as a council. I think it would build respect with your constituents. Again, when we went to the Founders Day, we had 3 pages of names that wanted to be in support and have every detail that we could think of to make sure that this building is preserved. Again, I think we give you a few recommendations that maybe you haven't thought about. One recommendation was to move the building. We also did our homework with that. We had some preservation board members come in from Preston, Idaho, where they moved their tabernacle to part of the park. And the recommendation was wonderful, and it is still an option and it's doable, but it will be a lot more labor intense and a lot more time and money.
A lot more, what did you say?
Labor intense.
Oh, labor intensive, yeah.
Mhm.
Did they throw out any kind of a number as far as what they thought it would take to move it?
About the 3 million.
3 million.
Well, not to
Theirs
move
was
it.
10.
Theirs was, yeah,
Theirs was more than ours.
theirs was more.
Quite a
Theirs
bit.
was a
2-story.
very large building.
Very
Yeah,
large
ours
building.
is much smaller.
Oh,
But
I
when
see.
you include the moving costs and then purchasing land to put it on, yeah, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
But that is another option. But we're here tonight. I don't want this to be a drab presentation. I want you to recognize that we have beautiful things to preserve and save for those that follow us. And it's our stewardship right now to make it happen. And this is a unique building, not only in Rexburg where it's located, and it is a cultural commodity. It is something that will continue to progress and increase with value, not just dollar wise, but people recognize this. One thing I noticed tonight as I was coming here is it faces as people enter into our city. The building faces that. And I thought that's a very welcoming historical spot that people recognize when they come home. Thanks.
These are some economic benefits of preservation that you're probably aware of, but we wanted to just kind of show those to you again. Cheryl talked about the value of it, and I feel like there's that cultural community value, but there's also is an economic value to that. And the Idaho Historic Preservation Office has a whole document that we could forward on to you that talks about the real numbers that happen when preservation is happening in an area. It can be a real economic driver for business and tourism. People come and are drawn to cities. So we kind of also see it as like an opportunity for you to preserve that building and also as maybe an encouragement for others to do the same. Business owners on Main Street have started to do that, and I love seeing that return to what the buildings used to look like. And I think that that's a great energy moving forward for our city and the feel that it has. But we wanted to also take questions. That's the end of our presentation. So we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about it. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Our questions, any questions, comments?
I had one.
Yes.
Where was that pocket park that you were talking about?
so it's, let me back.
Right next to.
What was that? Oh, thank you.
I don't know if that, right there.
Oh, right there. So is that where's the hair cutting?
Right next door.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So that little grass area is what you're talking about.
Yeah, we still are, we have been researching that a little bit more, and I just need to get in touch with some family members, but I think the murals that are painted on there were painted by Doug Ricks, who's a local artist. And so it would be kind of fun to be able to highlight those again and make it something pretty to look at. I think we're all just used to driving right past it and not, I mean, there were a few on our commission when I mentioned it who hadn't even recognized it really, because it's just been there forever.
A
And
bit overgrown, so you
needs a
don't
bit
notice.
of, yeah, needs a little bit of love. Yeah.
Could use a little pruning.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions or comments from anyone?
I've got
Yes,
Just,
go ahead, Councilmember Riggins.
So in 2010, according to your slides, in 2010, they had some preservation efforts. Do you know what happened to those?
The ones where this DUP came and stopped the.
No,
The
that was 2014. So on your timeline,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
had-
yeah. I
you
see
had
what you're
where,
saying.
in 2010, you had preservation efforts.
2010.
This is 2014.
It just meant that decade, the 2010.
That span of
Yeah,
time,
that span
right?
of time. So
Yeah.
not an
2010 to
actual
2010,
2010, but in that time. And I know they were more of the preservation efforts, but the Hubers had repeatedly asked to be able to purchase that property from the school district, and the school district just wouldn't budge or separate it or sell it. So none of the efforts really went anywhere.
It was in 2014. Who was going to demo it?
The school district.
Who was it?
The school district.
The school district was going to demo it.
Yes.
So from 2014 to 2026, when it was just recently purchased, right? So we've got 12 years. It has basically sat empty. No one has done anything with it. What's that?
They used it as storage.
The school district.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been used to store equipment and stuff in.
Yeah, it's basically a condemned building, though. As far as
I don't think it's condemned, but
2014, they did an inspection of that. It was,
it was sound in 2014. Okay, and then so do you have any idea why the church abandoned it when they still had a school there?
Well, they didn't. It was serving as a seminary building, and I believe they built a new seminary building behind the current junior or the old building. But I don't.
My only question is the church doesn't usually abandon something unless it's really problematic. It's really going to cost a lot to fix, right? So that's kind of my question on that is the church seems to have looked at it and said, okay, we're going to build a new seminary building because this building is either irreparable or it's too much money to do or whatever. I mean, that's just.
Looking at comparing the two, because I went to seminary building in the newer one or seminary in the newer one, I think there are 4 classrooms in that new building, and in the other, the old seminary building, if you've gone in that, there are these large kind of, they seem like there's little office spaces, and then there's a few large rooms. They probably just, I'm guessing, needed classroom space because it was then used by the school district for years before they stopped using it as a classroom. It was like the gifted and talented program. I don't know. That's what they called it when I was in school. That's what it was used for. It was later used for special ed services. So it was in use for quite a while. But I think, and I don't know for sure when they stopped using it, but I imagine it. But we could find out. But maybe the building of the middle school.
I'm just trying to just kind of consider some of the facts here, right? Just looking at it.
One of our commission members is also in construction and has been through it. And who's actually, I should mention, is my husband, who's on the commission. And it's a sound building. It's not condemned in any way.
Okay.
It's just underused, not used.
Just my last question. In that picture, 2014, with all those people there, were any of those folks willing to put their money where their mouth was, or the money where their feet were, and donate money so that that building could be purchased? So if we're looking at it, when you look at that building, do you have any idea if there's people actually interested in investing?
Yes.
To make that happen?
Yes.
Like they're willing to put a lot of money up.
Yeah, we have, I know someone's approached Jed Platt about it, and and our Rick Robinson used to be on our commission, is just recently no longer on the commission because he's serving somewhere else. But he also, we asked him that question, would someone just buy that building? And he said, oh, definitely, wouldn't have any trouble selling it. So, and we understand the city doesn't want to own any more historic buildings. But I think that definitely we could find a buyer for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, that might be worth pursuing. We have a comment about the building from Mr. Oki back there in the back. Would you like to come up and?
The city pay for it.
Well, the city doesn't own it, actually. It's the urban renewal, but your question is still valid, and I don't believe we paid for that building specifically. We bought the whole parcel, which was several $1 million. Yes, question.
I was just gonna say, I found that Post-Register article, and Superintendent Thomas even said that part of the reason to turn it into what they were gonna do is they were gonna tear it down and turn it into a parking lot, more parking there, was due to the fact that it was in need of extensive and costly repairs.
Yeah, that's I mean, I guess costly is a number that varies according to who's looking at it, right?
Right.
I mean,
No, you're right, but it's changed in all that time. And
exactly.
that
Yeah.
picture posed in 2014, I start to, even as a resident, I think, yes, I want to preserve historical things. However, we've got the tabernacle, we've got a few things in the community. I'm not saying it's hard, right? You want to balance preserving historical areas, but then my next question is, if we preserve it, what does it become? What do we use it for?
Yeah.
Because that's always my next big question, because I don't want to, we could have a museum, but what are you going to use it for?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good comment. And those are the things, some things that, have been proposed as a museum and different things. And of course, unfortunately, as you've mentioned, it always comes down to money and who's gonna, that was kind of my question too. Councilmember Reagan said, how many pages of people did you say that signed that they'd love to save it? How many of them would be willing to put up $5,000 or $10,000 to help? What's that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my guess is that number would reduce drastically, but you never know. So, sometimes people would be willing to step up. So, City Attorney Rammel has
just quickly. I think we're moving on, but just a quick reminder procedurally to keep the record clean. Keeping again, if anyone's going to speak, to have them come and put their name on the record, speak into the mic, and then limiting that to public hearings.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of back and forth on this building that has gone on and probably will go on. But we do really appreciate the information. That's obviously what the commission is for, is to help us understand the historical value of things and help us to be able to make a good decision about things like this. So,
Can I make a comment?
yes, go ahead.
I just want to like, I think the commission understands, just serving on as the liaison, that the city cannot afford to take on this building. And they understand that. And they're not asking us to do that. What they're asking us to do is to be creative and to maybe look at different alternatives of splitting off that lot and seeing if there is a private buyer that would take that building on, so that we as a city don't have to, so we don't have to just eliminate the history of that building. And I would encourage us to do that. I've received multiple phone calls about this building since it was been on the agenda. And I've had multiple people stop me and ask me. I get asked when I go to the pharmacy, I get asked about this building. So I think we need to take into account that there are people who want us to be watching and finding ways to be creative with our preservation, and they're not asking us to maybe spend money just to find ways to be creative. So,
yeah. Okay.
I have
Yes,
one question.
Councilmember Johnson.
Sorry, I'm just confused now. So this is not on the parcel that the city owns of that land though, right?
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's a part
So-
that urban renewal owns.
So then we don't have the say for what happens.
It's not really our decision to make,
Yeah.
but we certainly can have
We-
some input on it, as Councilmember Tejan said, so.
Yeah, and may I speak, let me just speak for urban renewal. Actually, it's been considered, and as it goes out to bid, people are being asked to consider how could you blend it in if whatever, right? So there isn't, I mean, we don't, at this point, there aren't any real bids per se, anything that we're really looking at right now that urban renewal is looking at to build at this point. So, but some of those ideas that you had up there are being considered. I mean, we're not just saying, urban renewal is not just saying, hey, tear it down, we don't care. But you know, it's when a developer comes in, we're hoping that be sensitive to that which is taking place. That by the way, it's public information. So but urban renewal, well, the combined cost of that land was 5 acres for over $7 million, right? So it's like $1.2 million per acre. So it wasn't a cheap piece of land. The school did well on what was paid for it. So.
Right. We also presented at Urban Renewal, and I believe that Matt said that parcel was about $500,000 in that meeting. And I don't know how we divided that out, but so, you know, I appreciate that you guys are looking at options to save it. And, you know, one of the things we thought is if you could make that like Councilmember Tejan said, if you could offset the cost, that 500,000 by increasing the price of the whole parcel by that amount, then it would kind of be free and clear and open it up for someone to be able to afford to come in and buy it. You could ask less for it, and then it could be, you know, then someone could put the money in to renovate it and preserve it. So
Our concern, I think, is the concern that both of you have mentioned is if, first of all, let's say it did stay, and then let's say the developer says, look, we'll build around it, right? And now we're going to put it on you, right? You the city own it now. Who's going to pay to renovate it? Who's going to pay to, you know, those kinds. That's why I think it's important to do some investigation and say, is is there really a group of people that would be willing to invest the kind of money that that building's going to need, right, to get it up? If there is, then I think you need to go back to urban renewal and say, look, we're offering this much, right? We're saying this is.
And we had thought about that. We don't want to, go beyond our purview as a commission.
Sure.
But we would be happy to get, construction bids and things to be able to present to someone.
Yeah.
If this building were available. This is what it
I think, by
costs to
the way,
renovate.
I've been on the urban renewal for many, many years, for the last 9 years, and then before that. But I think you have listening ears.
Yeah.
It's just again, the finance, the responsibility of
Right.
ownership of that piece of property once you get it, right? What are you gonna do with it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would suggest, just to kind of bring this to a close, is that any of those proposals that you've heard from, like Mr. Robinson and people that have talked to Jed and all these things, let's put those together in a package or whatever, that and actually bring those to the fore with some specifics.
Okay.
Okay, who is this person that he thinks would for sure come and buy it, and what would they do with it, and how much would they, we need some specifics on that in order to be able to make a good decision. And without that, it's really just kind of a nebulous thing that's floating out there. And so.
Okay, that's great. We weren't sure we could do that, but we'd be happy to do that. So
Yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Thank
Can I
you.
just
Thank you
mention
so much.
one thing real quick? So again, because of the way that this is structured, and of course I have a dual role. I'm the deputy treasurer for the city, but I'm also the administrator for urban renewal. So I think it was kind of mentioned before, the city can kind of have an advisory spot in all this, but it does really come down to the board of the urban renewal. And so, and like Bill said, I think that they've been very interested in hearing what you have to say, and I think they will continue to be interested to hear. Again, it's very much a financial. There's a lot of things that are there, and a lot of things that we're trying to consider, and trying to be very holistic in the whole thing. And I know that probably feels like we're not
No.
listening, but but yeah, as we collect this information, it'd probably be best to come to the board of the urban renewal. Because then I'm not a board member myself, but the board can then make some determinations based on that information. And
Can I
so,
ask a question of clarification?
Yes.
Where does urban renewal fall with the city?
we are a separate entity from the city. We are not the same entity. So it is, the board is appointed by the mayor. And so there's a connection there with that. I could explain tax increment financing, but that would take a little while, so I won't go into kind of the mechanisms.
Yeah, just the separation is they are a separate entity and a separate board from the council. They control all of the business of the urban renewal districts. But they are appointed by the mayor, the commissioners, but that's really as far as that relationship goes. Yeah.
So as a commission, do we have your support then? Because we're kind of appointed by you as well to pursue some proposals and some things to present to urban renewal.
Yeah, I'm kind of speaking for everyone, but I think we're interested in any proposals that could come forth that the urban renewal board could then consider. There's probably varying opinions on whether that building should stay or go. But I think we're all interested, and I'll look down here for head shakes or nods, but I think most of us are interested in at least some proposals that the urban renewal board can consider, and see if they can make sense at all. That's kind of is that kind of the way we're all, is that consensus? Do I have consensus on that? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your information. We appreciate that. All right. And thank you for your service to the city on that board. We appreciate that as well. Thank you very much. All right. Item number 7 is a time for public comment. These are for items that are not on the agenda tonight. If anyone would like to make a public comment, we actually limit it to 3 minutes and to come up to the podium and state your name and address. Is there anyone that would like to make a public comment about anything that is not on the agenda tonight? Make us aware of anything. Yes, sir. Come on up. Come on up and state your name and address here.
Council members, my name is Taylor Riley. My wife and I moved here for schooling and reside at 127 West First South Teton. I'm here because flock safety cameras are now operating throughout Idaho, including Idaho Falls, Sugar City, and St. Anthony. I believe Rexburg should take preemptive measures to ensure these systems and those similar to them are never installed here. These are not simple license plate readers. They are AI-powered surveillance systems that send data to a private corporation called Flock Safety. These systems identify vehicles, search by appearance, operate with infrared imaging, and can integrate AI video search, thermal imaging, gunshot detection, and signal trace, which detects and traces Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices. That data is uploaded to a nationwide network and becomes searchable by agencies across the country. A device can be linked to a person and help build a detailed map of their daily movements. This network now includes more than 110,000 cameras nationwide and performs billions of scans every month, of which data has been accessible without proper warrants. Flock's own record raises concerns. Public records showed Border Patrol gained access to local camera data through a pilot program without the knowledge of the cities paying for it. The company has also experienced security failures that expose sensitive credentials, and stolen police logins have appeared on hacking forums. I'm not anti-police. Rexburg has the best police. I support effective tools that help officers do their job, and I appreciate the work of the Rexburg Police Department. But mass surveillance of innocent residents by a private corporation is not smart policing. The system can reveal where you worship, where your children go to school, and where you spend your daily life, and that is not the Idaho way. I ask Rexburg to pass ordinances that clearly define how businesses and law enforcement may use surveillance technology to collect data or track residents. I am asking this council to act decisively tonight. First, to commit today to absolute transparency by publicly disclosing any exploratory talks or meetings the city or police department has had regarding automated surveillance networks like Flock Safety. Second, draft a comprehensive privacy ordinance that establishes strict standards for any future technology, ensuring private vendors can never monetize or mismanage our residents' data. And third, vote within the next 30 days to pass a preemptive ban on the installation of flock safety cameras and similar mass surveillance tools. Keep this surveillance out of our city before it ever arrives, and let's instead focus on strategies that keep control right here in our community. Police chiefs in Idaho Falls, Wilder, Greenleaf, and St. Anthony bypassed city councils before they could reject or approve these systems installation. We don't have to trade privacy and freedom for safety. Rexburg is already Idaho's safest city. Protect privacy, freedom, and our data by preventing these systems before they arrive. Thank you and happy 4th.
Okay, thank you for that information. We appreciate that. We will take that under consideration. We have one council member who is a former policeman and is quite expert in cameras, so we'll be able to use his expertise on this item. So thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment this time on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to item number 8, which is our staff reports. Item number A, which is the water department building remodel. We actually are not ready for that, right? Keith says, so we're going to actually not do that tonight. We'll put that on a future agenda item. And so we'll move on to item number 9, which is we have a couple of things in mayor's business. One of them that is listed here, and then we also have Robert Kohler here from the emergency management department that in fact, Robert, why don't we go ahead and have you come up, and he's got some emergency management information and an invitation for the council on an event that's coming up here soon.
Thank you,
Go
Mayor.
ahead, Robert. Thank you.
For those that haven't met me yet, I'm your emergency manager. I work as a split position, even though I wear a fire department uniform. half my job, I'm the umbrella that covers everybody throughout the county. So I work for you, I work for the police, I work for the sheriff's office. I'm here to help prepare our county. One of the things that we have to do for our grant funding, it's a federal requirement, is to host some trainings and some drills. And on February 24th of this last year, we had a tabletop exercise for a large scale incident happening on campus. And we had our fire department, our ambulance, Rexburg Police Department, the sheriff's office. We even had BYU Idaho security and lots of admin employees involved in this. And we had some takeaways where we all would like to try it because we need to play well in the sandbox when a large incident happens. That particular training was if there was an active shooter. And it resulted in a few things that we needed to refine. And we identified that we would like to prepare the city of Rexburg and Madison County just a little bit better for an incident that's going to take days to handle and tackle. And so, per the request of all of our first responder agencies, I've worked with all of their administrators. On September 2nd, we will have the first full-scale exercise that we've done in Madison County in multiple years. I started the emergency manager position in 2019, and this is the first time that we've done it since I've been in office. All of my surrounding emergency managers have had them at various times throughout their careers as well. So this is actually a very common thing that we do, and it's very beneficial because it helps our first responders train. The other part that we would like to do is, what does the city of Rexburg do in a large incident with their city council? Have you ever asked yourself, if we have a big incident, where do I go? What do I do? And what is my responsibility? Have you asked yourself that? Never had that question?
Yes, I have.
So we would like to, yeah, the mayor and I were talking about it this morning. We would like to train you on that. On September 2nd at 11 a.m., the incident will go down. It'll happen. We'll have responding agencies up there, there's safety in place, and there will be people controlling the incident. But if we have an incident like this, where do you go? And so my invite to you is to meet here, if possible. That will be up to you to decide, at 11 o'clock, so you can have a breakout session to discuss what happens. How do I handle a large incident? Is there budgetary needs? Is there going to be information shared? Are we sharing the same information as the other agencies that are responding? What is the long-term decisions that we have to make if there's a reunification center and a family assistance center that has to come out of this? How do we take care of the weeks after a large-scale incident? And so those would be the focus for this training for the Rexburg City Council. Do you have questions for me on it?
Any questions about that from anyone?
One question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will we be getting like an invite for this, or is this the only time we're going to hear about it?
No, you'll be getting an invite, but I wanted to come and prep you for it. And instead of just being like, hey, come party, and you're asking, what in the world is this?
I'm glad.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's possible, you could put that on your agendas. We have a little bit of time to prepare, so hopefully we can all attend and put that on your calendar as I think it'll be interesting. And I have often, we have these LAPC, which stands for Local Emergency Preparedness Committee. We have these meetings with Robert and different people once a month, and we talk about all kinds of different emergency preparedness things. And I've often asked that question, okay, what are our responsibilities? You know, and I've read some things about it and things like that. But I think this opportunity to have an enactment or a creation of what we would do, I think is a great opportunity for us. So
I guess my question is
Yes.
for Deb and maybe Spencer. Do we need to post that we will be meeting? Because all of us might be together.
I don't know that there would any decisions that would be made, so I don't know if that would be a postable thing, would it?
Then it's okay. Okay, so
Not
then
going to
we're
be any
okay.
deliberations or decisions made. So, yeah.
How long do we time block?
And if we need to put,
What's that?
we could post it. I don't
It starts at 11. We've planned 3 hours for the scenario, but your portion of the training is not going to take that long. It'll be shorter.
About an hour, do you think? Or
Yeah, I would say put an hour down.
okay.
And we'll feed you the scenario. I purposely haven't said it because I know this is recorded and watched by lots of people. And the scenario has been approved and adopted by all of our first responder agency administrators. And that's where it ends because we need to test our systems. So part of it, you'll be thrown, this is your scenario. What are you guys going to do about it? And then we will ask you questions. Have you considered this? Have you thought about taking these steps? Here's the next steps that are going to face you. And nationally, when we've had similar incidents, these are the things that have come out of the left field that nobody ever considered before that you need to have something in mind for. Our hope is that this will result in policy written or refined so that if this ever happens or an incident like this, that you'll have an idea of jump off bridge of where to go. So, yeah. So even though our scenario is going to take about 3 hours, yours a good hour discussion, and then I think you'll be good. You can talk to the mayor. Maybe he'll provide lunch since it's 11 o'clock. That's up to him.
Might. We just might. I thought you were going to make us lunch.
You don't want my cooking.
All right.
It's my pleasure to serve you. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to call my office. So,
One quick thing before
Yes.
you go. I assume the school district is going to be involved in this as well. Is that gonna, but the nature of the scenario isn't going to disrupt schools or anything like that?
so no school district involvement in this one.
Oh, okay.
Because of the location. And we chose this date because there are no students on campus.
Okay.
There are very few students on campus. We wanted to be least impactful. Yeah, the public schools, we won't be anywhere near them or around them.
Okay.
They're welcome to come and observe. This is more from a response side. So, yeah, good question. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mayor,
Any other? Yes, go ahead.
having sat through a lot of these tabletops and going through these, we've done active shooter at the campus before. Must have been right before the
Yeah.
2019 because it went back when I was there.
Yeah.
It's a good way to understand and kind of just run it through our minds. We tell our school districts to tell all the people to go through these tabletops because when the crisis happens, you want to have some things already in place or you're going to be way behind. So I think it'd be a good thing. Try to get us all together and do this.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, great. Any other questions? Thank
Thank you.
you, Robert. We appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you very much. All right, the next item of mayor's business is to ratify Tina Lesh as a member of the Planning and Zoning Board. Now, I don't know, I hope you had a chance to see the biography I sent on email, and I apologize again for not sending that out earlier. I thought I had sent it out as soon as she sent it to me. But I realized that I hadn't, and so I tried to get that out to you so you could read through it and just digest that a little bit. But she's willing to serve, and we've got actually several positions coming up here in the next few months that we've got. I think Councilmember Johnson had several recommendations of people that we can talk to, and then there's been a couple others recommended too that I haven't talked to, so I don't know if they're interested or not. But yes.
I have a couple for you too.
Oh, do you? Okay, good. Yeah, because we've got, I think, let's see, Alan, we got 3 coming up, and then after that there'll be obviously some more in the future. So any recommendations that you have that you can provide for me that will be appreciated. So if there is no conversation about Tina specifically, I would entertain a motion to move forward on this ratification. If there's anyone that would like to make that motion.
I'll make that motion that we ratify Tina Lesh as a member of the Planning and Zoning Board.
Thank you very much. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Councilmember Bill Riggins, sorry. Had a brain cramp on your last name. Councilmember Riggins. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Any opposed? All right, we will go ahead and consider that ratification complete. And we'll move on to item number 10, which is the approval of new 2026 fireworks stand located at approximately 900 North, 2nd East, on the parcel number as noted. Deborah, is there any specifics about this that we need to know, or just is this pretty?
This is between Christensen Auto Body and the Armory, just that lot right there. Is where they're
Okay.
set up. The applicants currently also have a stand in Rigby, and they just wanted to come up here and give our area a shot. So,
All right, is there any questions, concerns, or anything about that before we move forward? If none, I would entertain a motion to approve this new fireworks stand. Is there such a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve this new fireworks stand at 900 North, 2nd East,
Okay,
parcel mentioned.
all right, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilmember Tejan. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. All right, item B is the planning and zoning recommendation to approve a comprehensive plan map amendment from intermediate residential to commercial at approximately 4 West Moody Road. This will be designated as resolution number 226-09 if the motion passes. Mr. Parkinson, go ahead and tell us a little bit about this, if you would, please.
Mayor, council members, thank you. We're just going to pull up the parcel map so you can see where it's located.
On the far west.
Oh,
Geez, I can't.
no, here across the freeway here, right?
They're right.
Back this one.
We've done this one a few
It's right
times.
over here. Keep going.
There we go.
It's that one and that one.
This one right here, isn't it?
No, it's this one. So these are the two parcels that are included in the application in that. And they have asked for a comp plan change so that they can then request a zone change. Current comp plan is intermediate residential. They would like to go to commercial in this, so they can put commercial along Moody Road and then along Highway 20. And that is their request today. And we're putting that in front of you. P&Z did review this, staff recommended to them, and then P&Z has recommended to you for approval.
Okay, is there any questions for Mr. Parkinson on this particular item?
Does the same owner own
Both
all of
parcel.
the,
No, just those two parcels.
just those two non-contiguous
Yes.
parcels?
The one in the center is the homestead living
Oh.
that's being built in the center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Yes,
Oh,
Colin?
wasn't one of the areas light industrial?
Yes, the one up next to the Highway 20, that one is currently zoned as light industrial.
Yeah.
So this is actually, if they continue on and ask for the commercial designation, then that would be a step down, basically, away from an industrial park into more of a commercial setting.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have
Cool.
tagged to the east of it. All of the church property is tagged currently.
Where's the stakes that are going?
Right where her cursor is. Don't go left. Right in there. It's just in the corner of that, where the temple is on the same lot.
Just reading the report, there were a couple of the members of the committee that were concerned of putting commercials so close to that which is owned there by the church. And
Yeah.
so on, but
Well, and they were curious because they didn't know what the church was going to do. And we just says, neither do we. They have not give us any indication of what's going to happen. There's a majority, well, about half of that from the freeway to the south is currently comp planned as commercial. And then the rest of it is intermediate residential.
Did anybody express any reservations with those two houses
No,
that are right there? Are they, I mean,
they were notified and neither one spoke up in the meetings nor sent correspondence.
okay.
Okay.
What are they zoned at? I know right now we're just
Think
dealing with
they're
the
tagged,
comprehensive
if I
plan,
remember
but
right. They're both tagged right now.
which is what?
Transitional ag.
I mean, but it's also the same as the lot right behind it. But
Correct.
the other one that's the furthest north, that's the one that is light industrial?
The one right behind the two homes is actually MDR1.
Oh, MDR1.
Yes.
two.
Oh, MDR2, sorry.
Two, okay.
Yeah.
And
And then
then
the other one is light
light
industrial.
Okay.
And at one point, the whole thing was light industrial. And they come in and made the change for the homestead to put that in there. And they thought they were going to come further with housing, and then that was decided not to.
Okay. Yes, Councilmember Erickson, Colin.
Yes, going through the planning and zoning and watching them, I mean, they really hit hard on that one next to the freeway. And I really don't have that big a concern with that one as much as I do the one south where you have residential to go into change it to a commercial type of value. But that's where the only kind of drawback or kind of where I kind of pull back a little bit. But the top one, I have no concern over that one because it definitely is a step down compared to what it is already zoned.
Right. Well, and the other aspect that was discussed in that is being along Moody Road, eventually that's going to become a fairly large corridor. You may have businesses along the road with residential behind it. But again, that's a crystal ball that we can't see through right now.
Yeah.
What's the zoning of the property to the east?
It's all tag.
All tag?
Everything is tagged. The church has not asked for any zone change at this point.
We did that CUP for the temple, do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they own all of
They
it
own-
except that one strip that we're looking at?
Yes, this borders all of their property.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you have a question?
Just a comment. I know we've talked before about a concern that we don't have enough business, parcels for business. So I'm happy to see some of it for business. So, and I think like no matter what we change it to, I have heard other people complaining about putting apartments by churches or whatever. So I think probably they're not gonna be happy with a lot of stuff. So to me, this seems like a good fit.
Yeah, and that Moody Road is over time going to become a pretty commercial corridor going through there. So I think there's going to be some evolution that happens along there. So I think it's kind of inevitable. Okay, any other comments?
That's the same piece of property we're concerned about. What's the acreage on that bottom one? Yeah, that one.
5.41. Oh, 44. I think it was two different ones. Yeah.
5.5. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions or comments, then I would entertain a motion to move forward on resolution 2026-09. Is there such a motion?
Mayor, I'll make that motion to approve resolution number 2026-09.
Okay.
Comprehensive plan.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Johnson. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Item C, planning and zoning recommendation to approve a rezone from light industrial and medium density residential to community business center zone at approximately 4 West Moody Road. This would be designated as ordinance number 1352. If passed and considered first read. Okay, this item is.
Deborah missed her. She lost her screen.
I clicked and ended up closing the whole
Where?
thing out.
But it is the exact same lots.
Oh, it
What
is?
Yes, the
Okay.
exact same lots. Now that you approved the comp plan, they can request the zone change. They will
Oh.
take the light industrial up next to 20. They want to take it to commercial CBC. And then the one down by Moody, they want to take from the MDR2 to also CBC.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So we've really kind of already asked the questions and things unless there's
I do
anything
have
else that
one.
popped up.
Can you explain
Yes.
to me exactly what tag can be used for, what the transitional agriculture zone means?
The transitional ag is designed as a holding place before it comes into the city. They can put residential homes on it, 1 per acre, but the majority of it is they can continue to farm that
Okay.
until they decide to develop it
Okay,
into
thank you.
something else.
Okay.
So they want to go to community business center.
On both parcels.
It's actually a problem.
Yeah, I think so.
We're not talking about a steel yard.
No.
No, I think this is
No.
good. Good.
Near the homes and all that.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, I think that's a positive move. Okay. Then if there are no other questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to move forward on ordinance number 1352 and consider it first read. Is there such a motion?
Here, I'll make a motion that we approve rezone at approximately fourth West Moody Road from medium density residential and light industrial to community business center.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Second by Councilmember Reeser. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Let's move on to item number D, which is the planning and zoning recommendation to approve the University Town Center plat located at approximately 901 South Yellowstone Highway. This application is to subdivide the property into 8 lots.
Okay.
So we're looking
That
at
was
this
a misprint. There's actually going to be 10 total lots in that.
10 lots.
Which the plat
All right, we'll
represents.
change that to 10 lots.
So in that, again, this has been reviewed by staff. They have met all the requirements for staff, and we are presenting it to you. Well, P and Z recommended it to you for approval.
Okay, is there any questions about this particular item?
What's that zone right there? Is it
That'll be CBC,
It is.
Community Business Center,
Yeah, a lot of business down there.
which you have next to it, but when you cross University, then you got Regional Business Center. Yeah, which is just a design for larger box stores.
Okay, all right.
So what is the,
Councilmember Erickson.
I was going to say, what is the access like for that business area? Is it just highway, Yellowstone Highway, or, oh, there's a road right there at the
There's going to
town?
be 3 of them.
Okay.
You'll actually have Mekon to the east, right next to Eden and Mesa. That one will come in. You will have Tamina Drive coming in next to Chipotle, and then there will be an access onto Yellowstone Highway in there. No, it's further up, back right where that lot is, right there. And the lot you see that is blocked out, that will also be included in the plat. There was some separation done so that a 1031 exchange could happen, and they will be signing on the plat, and they will be included in that plat.
So that little section right there will be included.
Where her arrow is, yes, that'll be
Okay.
included in the plat.
All right.
There's already some buildings that have gone in right behind
McDonald's.
Right there, right?
Yeah, and they're not part of the plat.
Medical Center or something like that.
Dental, it's a dental office.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is not included in this plat.
Okay, Councilmember Erickson, did you have a comment?
Yes, I just wanted to, they've done a lot of dirt work over there already.
Mhm.
And it's kind of interesting to me. I just want to make it clear that, we're just going up to zoning right now. They've already moved a ton load of dirt.
At their own risk.
That's why I want to make sure that it's only risk, because the perception out there is, okay, they're doing this and they've been promised something, but there was at their own risk that they started this. And number 2, are we going to end up taking Yellowstone and making that straighter right there on that
Yeah.
road?
That is part of their requirement, a traffic impact study
It's
was
not.
done. They are gonna have to, I don't know in front of me the full scope of it, but it's gonna add
Come on.
additional lanes. It's gonna straighten it out to connect to Henry's Fork. All of that's gonna get taken care of,
Right.
sidewalks along there, the whole works.
That'll be part of this.
That's part of this development, yes.
Yeah, developers are required
Yes.
to do that.
Mayor,
Yes.
if I may, just for your information, they're already working on widening that.
Yes.
The redevelopment agency is helping to move the lines, the electrical lines moved over so that road can be widened to what the rest of it is down the line. So that's in motion.
Yeah, yep. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions, comments? All right, if none, I would entertain a motion to approve this plat as noted here on the agenda. Is there such a motion from anyone?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the University Town Center plat at 901 South Yellowstone Highway.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Johnson. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. We'll move on to item number 11A, which is the second reading. It'd be ordinance number 1348 to vacate a portion of the Sky Meadows plat at approximately 1228 Stone Drive. This is a second reading, so I don't know if there are any questions that have arisen about this since we passed this originally, but if there are any, I would entertain those at this time. And if there aren't any, I would entertain a motion to consider ordinance 1348 second read.
Mayor, in the first voting, I voted no, and I still want to just make myself public here that I wish that whoever it is that's playing on that would communicate with those who have already purchased homes, those who thought that those homes would be like their homes and it would be like their lots and so on. So anyway, I just want to put that out there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other comments? Yes, Councilmember.
Mayor, I have one comment on this because I have heard from some residents up there, and sometimes I wonder if we need to reach out on as we go through. We say 350 feet, but this affects that whole kind of valley down there, the whole houses. And, you know, we done the zone change before, and then when we heard the really kind of backlash was clear back on the, when it shouldn't have been even looked at on this. I just sometimes on this type of situation, maybe we need to reach out a little bit further and try to get the mailers out to them so they have a chance to come voice to us before we make that. But I know we can't do nothing here, but I just want to kind of emphasize, maybe to Alan or something, maybe we need to look at that.
It would be something we'd have to put in the code and change. We're required by law to go to 300 if you want to, and we go to 350. But if you guys wanted to do that, we could codify and make that a farther distance.
And I don't think we need to do it on everything, but on this one, I
Well,
wish we would have reached out.
When
to
you
the
have,
whole area.
when you have a planned
You do want to do
community,
that.
right? Kind of a planned community where someone builds half of it and then doesn't finish it. And then decides to change, who the new owner decides to change it, right? I think, I agree with you. I think that's not on everything, but on something like this where where it was already planned out, where other people were thinking, considering that, yeah, I don't have to worry about it.
And there's really nothing we could take into this one because after the fact, but just in the future for our citizens, that's what I'm saying, because I've heard back on some saying we didn't know, but they still live in that area. So,
Well, and the challenge with that too is we do put postings on entrances to that subdivision, just so people can drive by, and they're bright yellow and they stand pretty big, so they're
We try.
pretty hard to miss.
yeah.
We've tried to step it up and do things to notify people. We put it on our website. It goes in the newspaper, and the newspaper is a requirement by the state.
And that's kind of what I told them. I try to emphasize that, but
Yeah.
sometimes I think we can maybe do a little,
And
I
we-
try to do a little better out.
And that's something we can
A
look
lot
at.
of times
and talk
people,
about.
yeah, they don't realize that it's gonna affect them until they see something happening, and then, yeah, so it's kind of difficult that way sometimes, but anyway, all right, well, duly noted on those comments. We appreciate those comments, and we will see what we can do to kind of involve people a little bit more earlier. So if there are no other comments or questions, I would entertain a motion to consider ordinance 1348 second read. Is there such a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Councilmember Johnson has motioned. Is there a second to her motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilmember Colin Erickson. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I must stay with a no.
Okay, we've got 4-1. Motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 2, which is ordinance number 1349, which is the rezone of 509 to 539 South 5th West from High Density Residential 1 to High Density Residential 2. Alan, let's see. Let's talk about this item real quick. Let's see if there are any questions or comments.
This is the one that's located behind Carl Sinclair on 5th West.
Okay.
And then just down from Les Schwab. It's the owners are wanting to go from HDR1 to HDR2. They're trying to sell it and just trying to put it in an area where we've kind of designated these areas as this is where we want higher density, closer to the campus, within walking distance. And it just seems to fit better there.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions about this item from anyone on council? If there are none, I would entertain a motion to consider ordinance 1349 second read.
Make a motion that we consider ordinance number 1349 second read.
All right, thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilmember Colin Erickson. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. We have no items for third reading. Item number 12 is the consent calendar, which includes the minutes from the remaining budget meetings, fiscal year 27 budget meetings, and the June 17th, 2026 council meeting. Also the approval of paying the city of Rexburg bills. Is there any questions about any of those items or corrections or anything like that before we move on the consent calendar? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar at this time.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent calendar and pay the bills.
All right, thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Councilmember Reeser. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Sorry, I forgot. All right, motion passes and we will go ahead and get the bills paid and enter the minutes. All right, thank you very much. We will stand adjourned at this time. I would request the council members just stay for a moment so that we can organize ourselves a little bit for the parade on Saturday. And I would encourage anyone here that if you don't have tickets for the concert on Friday night, to get your tickets and go. It's going to be an exciting event. The party in the park on Friday at 3 o'clock at Porter Park will be a lot of fun for families and things. So a lot of fun things coming up this weekend. Great events here in the city. So we will stand adjourned. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
They're already paid for you.
I was a little concerned because like, they're not paying them, and it took them like 1 week. Although they're hotline.